So by now we practiced what is the graph of sine of x, and noticed that that graph as it is does not afford us an inverse function. We needed to restrict ourselves to a piece of it so that everything will go fine. So we said if you take this picture and turn it around, that is, define x as a sine of y, you will get a graph where the wave is weaving around the y-axis. That is going to be our so that is how graph of x equal to sine of y is going to look like. Same as this, just turn around. If you want to make the function to have an inverse, pick a piece of it. You said this is the agreed upon piece that everybody likes to work with. Say, if you take that, turn that portion around, you are going to get this piece. That piece, when it is expressed in terms of y as a function of x, the notation for it is x is equal to sine inverse of x, or arc sine of x. Now we want to do exact same thing with respect to the other functions, at least cosine and tangent. The other three functions show up in some of the exercises, but we need additional discussion on those. So we want to say, well, how about y is equal to cosine of x? What does that look like? Let's be quick on this one. Cosine had an appearance like this. It starts high, and then so on it goes. What if you describe x as a function of y? What if x was equal to cosine of y? It meant that your angles are now on the vertical axis, their cosine are on the horizontal. The picture that you get is something like this, except that you start at the 1 on x-axis. At pi over 2, you're supposed to hit at pi over 2 on the y-axis. You're supposed to hit so everybody follows this discussion now. It's we say this red curve as it is violates the horizontal line test. It doesn't have an inverse function. We have to pick a piece of it. Everybody agrees to pick this piece. It has the full range. It sticks to positive angles from 0 to pi. The inverse of this, or if you put a mirror here and reflect it, is this portion. Okay? Now let's just write down underneath it exactly what is the restriction of cosine. Restriction of cosine is well, the main thing is that we are restricting ourselves to 0 to pi. This one, its domain, as usual, is from -1 to 1, meaning the lowest you go is -1, the highest you are at 1. The range is the angles you get the angles you get is either in the first quadrant or here is in the second quadrant. So you go from 0 to pi. Okay, unfortunately we are out of time very fast today, so we have to continue this conversation tomorrow. So you start your problems of section 2.4, but you'll have a few days to finish this thing up. And so read 2.4 and try to do the exercises. We are going to do some of them tomorrow. Okay, good luck.